My dream wedding became a nightmare when my future sister-in-law revealed her true colors and my fiancé chose her over me. My story begins like many others, with what I thought was the beginning of my happily ever after. I was engaged to Mark, a man I had been with for 5 wonderful years. We met in college, fell in love, and navigated the complexities of early adulthood together. He was, or so I believed, my best friend, my confidant, and the person I wanted to spend the rest of my life with. Our engagement was a whirlwind of joy and excitement, and we immediately dived into wedding planning. We envisioned a rustic outdoor ceremony, surrounded by our closest friends and family, celebrating our love under the warm glow of string lights. The guest list was carefully curated, the venue booked, and I had even found my dream dress, a flowing ivory gown with delicate lace details that made me feel like a true bride. Everything was falling into place, or so it seemed. The fly in the ointment, the storm cloud on my otherwise sunny horizon, was Mark's older sister, Sarah. From the moment I was introduced to her, I sensed a subtle, almost imperceptible hostility. She was always perfectly polite, but her eyes held a guarded, critical glint whenever she looked at me. I tried to brush it off, attributing it to the natural protective instinct an older sister might have for her younger brother. I made an effort to connect with her, complimenting her outfits, asking about her work, and even offering to help her with small tasks. My attempts were met with a cool detachment that bordered on condescension. She had a way of making me feel like an outsider, an interloper in their seemingly perfect family unit. Mark, bless his naive heart, never seemed to notice. He would often say, "Oh, that's just Sarah. She's a little reserved, but she means well." I wanted to believe him, but a nagging feeling in my gut told me otherwise. As wedding planning progressed, Sarah's passive-aggressive behavior intensified. Every decision I made, no matter how small, was met with a thinly veiled critique. If I chose lilies for the centerpieces, she'd remark, "Oh, those are rather common, aren't they?" I always pictured Mark having something more exotic. If I talked about the band we booked, she'd interject, "Are you sure they're not a bit too loud? Mark has sensitive ears, you know." It was never a direct attack, always a subtle jab designed to undermine my choices and make me doubt myself. I tried to discuss it with Mark, gently bringing up my concerns about Sarah's behavior. He would always defend her, claiming I was overthinking things or that she was just trying to help. His dismissiveness stung, making me feel as though my feelings were invalid and that I was being overly sensitive. The turning point, the moment when the cracks in my idyllic wedding dream began to truly show, occurred during a family dinner at Mark's parents' house. We were discussing the seating arrangements, a notoriously tricky part of wedding planning. I had meticulously crafted a diagram, trying to ensure everyone felt comfortable and had interesting company. Sarah, who had insisted on being involved in every aspect of the planning, snatched the diagram from my hands, her eyes scanning it with a critical gaze. "What is this?" she exclaimed, her voice dripping with disdain. "You've put Aunt Carol next to Uncle George? They haven't spoken in years. And why is Cousin Emily at the far end? She's practically family." I tried to explain my reasoning, but she cut me off, launching into a tirade about how I was disrespecting their family traditions and making a mockery of their special day. Mark, instead of defending me, sat silently, his gaze fixed on his plate. His parents, equally silent, seemed to be observing the spectacle with a mixture of amusement and disapproval. I felt a flush of humiliation rise to my cheeks, my voice trembling as I tried to regain control of the conversation. "Sarah, I've put a lot of thought into this. If you have suggestions, you can offer them respectfully, but this is not appropriate." Sarah merely scoffed, tossing the diagram back onto the table. "I'm just trying to make sure Mark's wedding is perfect. Some people just don't understand the nuances of our family." The implication was clear. I, the outsider, was incapable of understanding their family, and therefore incapable of planning a wedding that met their standards. I looked at Mark, hoping for a sign of support, a flicker of outrage on my behalf. There was nothing. He continued to eat, seemingly oblivious to the emotional warfare unfolding at the table. That night, I cried myself to sleep, a cold dread settling in my stomach. Was this a preview of my future, a life constantly battling Sarah's disapproval with Mark as a silent spectator? Despite my growing unease, I pushed forward with the wedding plans, desperately clinging to the hope that once we were married, things would change. I told myself that Sarah was just stressed, that she would eventually warm up to me, and that Mark would stand up for me when it truly mattered. I was wrong on all counts. The final straw, the event that shattered my illusion of a happy future with Mark, occurred just 2 weeks before the wedding. We were having a final fitting for my wedding dress at the bridal boutique. My mother, my maid of honor, and Sarah were all present. I slipped into the dress, the delicate lace and flowing fabric making me feel like a princess. I stepped out of the dressing room, eager for their reactions. My mother gasped, tears welling up in her eyes. "Oh, my darling, you look absolutely stunning," she exclaimed. My maid of honor echoed her sentiments, praising the dress and how beautiful I looked in it. Then came Sarah. She circled me slowly, her lips pursed in a thin line, her eyes scrutinizing every detail. "It's nice," she said finally, her voice devoid of any genuine warmth. "But don't you think it's a little plain? For a wedding dress, I mean. Mark always said he liked a bit more sparkle." My heart sank. I had chosen this dress because it was elegant and understated, exactly what I wanted. I had shown Mark pictures of it, and he had loved it. "Mark loved this dress," I said, trying to keep my voice steady. "He said it was perfect." Sarah let out a soft, mocking laugh. "Oh, darling, you know how brothers are. They just say what they think you want to hear. But honestly, for his wedding, he deserves something truly spectacular. Something that really makes a statement." She then turned to the bridal consultant. "Do you have anything else? Something with more beading, perhaps? Or a bigger train? Something that screams Mark's bride." I stood there, mortified, my dream dress suddenly feeling like a costume. My mother, sensing my distress, stepped forward. "Sarah, that's enough. She looks beautiful." But Sarah was relentless. She began pulling out other dresses, holding them up against me, making disparaging remarks about my chosen gown. She even went so far as to suggest I try on a completely different style, something that was entirely not me, stating, "This is what Mark really wants." I looked at my reflection, tears blurring my vision. The joy I had felt just moments before had evaporated, replaced by a crushing sense of inadequacy and anger that I finally reached my breaking point. "Sarah, stop it." I cried, my voice trembling. "This is my wedding dress, and I love it. If you can't be supportive, then please, just leave." Sarah's eyes widened, feigning innocence. "I'm just trying to help, dear. I only want the best for Mark." It was then that I saw it, a flicker of something in her eyes, a triumphant smirk that quickly vanished. This wasn't about helping Mark. This was about undermining me, about asserting her dominance, about making me feel small and insignificant. My mother and maid of honor were visibly uncomfortable, but before they could intervene, the door to the dressing room area opened, and Mark walked in. He had arrived early to pick us up. Sarah immediately turned to him, her face a picture of feigned distress. "Mark, thank goodness you're here. Your fiancé is being so difficult. I was just trying to help her find a dress that truly suited your taste, and she's completely overreacting." She then pointed at me, still standing in my dream dress, tears streaming down my face. "She's crying because I suggested she might look better in something else. Can you believe it?" My heart pounded in my chest. This was it. This was the moment Mark would finally see his sister for who she truly was. This was the moment he would stand up for me, for us, for our future. I looked at him, my eyes pleading, silently begging him to defend me. Mark looked at Sarah, then at me, then back at Sarah. He hesitated, a long, agonizing moment of silence stretching between us. My hope dwindled with each passing second. Finally, he spoke, and his words, though softly uttered, struck me like a physical blow. "Sarah, you're just trying to help, I know. But maybe you could be a little less direct." He then turned to me, his expression a mixture of exasperation and mild annoyance. "Honey, why are you crying? It's just a dress. Sarah just wants us to have the perfect wedding." The air left my lungs. He hadn't defended me. He hadn't acknowledged Sarah's manipulative behavior. He had, in essence, sided with her, subtly validating her actions and dismissing my pain. The "just a dress" comment echoed in my ears, making me feel utterly invisible, my feelings trivialized. It wasn't just about the dress. It was about the years of subtle undermining, the constant put-downs, and his consistent failure to stand up for me against his sister. My mother, bless her heart, stepped forward. "Mark, that's not fair. Your sister was being incredibly unkind." Mark shrugged, a dismissive gesture that sealed my fate. "It's just family drama, Mom. Every family has it." In that moment, standing in my dream wedding dress, surrounded by my mother's tears and Sarah's smug satisfaction, I saw my entire future with Mark flash before my eyes. A future where I would always be second to Sarah. A future where my feelings would always be dismissed. A future where I would constantly be fighting for my place, a place that Mark was unwilling to secure for me. The love I had for him, a love I believed was unbreakable, fractured and crumbled into dust. I looked at Mark, really looked at him, and saw a man who would always prioritize his sister's comfort over my well-being. A man who would rather appease his family than defend the woman he claimed to love. The realization hit me with the force of a tidal wave. I couldn't marry him. I couldn't live a life where I was constantly made to feel less than, where my voice was silenced, and my feelings invalidated. I slowly unzipped the dress, the sound loud in the stunned silence of the boutique. My mother started to protest, but I shook my head, my eyes fixed on Mark. "I can't do this," I said, my voice surprisingly steady despite the whirlwind of emotions raging inside me. "I can't marry you, Mark." His eyes widened in shock. "What? What are you talking about?" "I'm talking about your sister," I explained, gesturing vaguely towards Sarah, who now looked genuinely surprised, her smug expression replaced by a look of bewildered annoyance. "I'm talking about how she has treated me for the past 5 years, and how you have consistently allowed it to happen. I'm talking about how you just stood there and let her tear me down, and then dismiss my pain as just family drama. I can't marry someone who doesn't respect me enough to defend me. I can't marry someone who values his sister's approval more than my happiness." The words tumbled out, raw and unfiltered, fueled by years of suppressed frustration and hurt. Mark stared at me, his mouth slightly agape. Sarah, ever the manipulator, recovered quickly. "See, Mark? I told you she was dramatic." I ignored her, my gaze unwavering from Mark's face. "I deserve a partner who will stand by me, who will cherish me, and who will protect our relationship from outside interference. You are not that person, Mark. You never have been." He finally found his voice, a weak attempt at conciliation. "But the wedding, everything is planned. We are getting married in 2 weeks." "No, we are not," I said firmly, stepping back into the dressing room and pulling on my clothes with trembling hands. "There is no we anymore. I'm calling off the wedding." My mother rushed to my side, her arm around me, offering silent support. Sarah, on the other hand, launched into a furious tirade, accusing me of being selfish, of ruining Mark's life, and of being an ungrateful outsider. I tuned her out, my focus solely on Mark, who now looked utterly lost and bewildered as I walked out of that bridal boutique, leaving behind my dream dress and the shattered remnants of my engagement. I felt a strange mix of profound grief and immense relief. The pain was immense, a searing ache in my chest, but beneath it, a quiet strength was emerging. I had finally chosen myself. The aftermath was, as expected, messy and painful. Mark tried to contact me repeatedly, sending desperate texts and voicemails, begging me to reconsider, promising to change. But the trust was broken, the respect irrevocably lost. His family, of course, sided with Sarah, portraying me as the villain who had abandoned their beloved Mark at the 11th hour. My own family, while supportive, was heartbroken by the cancellation of the wedding. It took months, even years, to fully heal from the heartbreak and betrayal. I spent time rebuilding myself, rediscovering my own worth, and learning to trust my instincts. I eventually moved to a new city, started a new job, and slowly, cautiously, began to date again. Years later, I received an unexpected message on social media. It was from Mark. He had apparently been following my life from afar. He apologized profusely for his past behavior, acknowledging Sarah's manipulative nature and his own weakness in allowing it to fester. He said he had finally seen the truth, that his sister had continued her pattern of controlling behavior in his subsequent relationships, leading to their eventual demise. He said he regretted not fighting for me, not seeing my worth, and not protecting our relationship. He even confessed that Sarah had secretly hated me because she saw me as a threat to her position as the favorite child, and the one who always had Mark's unwavering attention. I read his message with a mixture of sadness and detachment. The hurt was largely gone, replaced by a quiet sense of vindication. I wished him well, but declined his subtle invitation to catch up. The Mark I had loved was a ghost, a figment of my youthful imagination. The man who had stood by silently as his sister tore me down was not someone I could ever trust again. No matter how much he claimed to have changed, at my dream wedding had indeed become a nightmare, but it was a nightmare that ultimately led me to a better, stronger version of myself. It taught me the invaluable lesson that self-respect and boundaries are paramount, and that a partner who truly loves you will always choose you, unequivocally. And sometimes, the greatest heartbreak can be the catalyst for the greatest growth.